while he's doing that, we're gonna watch this.
A couple months ago, Microsoft released the preview build of its Recall program. If you don't remember what that was, and I hope you do because it's crazy, Recall was a piece of software that would sit on Copilot plus ARM CPUs that ran Windows. And
Wait, Recall was the name of the... Wait, hold on.
a couple months ago, Microsoft released the preview build of its Recall program. If you don't remember what that was, and I hope you do because it's crazy, Recall was a piece of software that would sit on Copilot.
Like it's a recall. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking recall, like recalling like bad. Okay.
Pilot plus ARM CPUs that ran Windows. And what it would do is it would take screenshots of your computer every 5 seconds and then collect metadata about those screenshots, like the characters on the screen, the images on the screen, using the local AI processor in the Snapdragon CPU, and then store that metadata in a database that you could query later to figure out, like, when was the last time I looked at purses was the example that the news did. And obviously, this program collected a lot of negative feedback from the security community. A lot of security researchers were able to see that you could just literally go and open the database yourself, even though it was said to be encrypted at rest. And so obviously, it didn't get a lot of love. Literally,
Microsoft's recall feature is even more hackable than you thought.
Go and open the database yourself, even though it was said to be encrypted at rest. So obviously, it didn't get a lot of love. Microsoft just came back with a new article, a new update to their original blog post that highlights some of the new security features of Recall. There are some slight improvements, but I still hate the idea as a whole. So in this video, I want to talk about what the updates are, kind of give my thoughts on those changes, and kind of get your opinion too. I want to see in the comments below what you think about the Recall program after these updates. They have made some improvements to how the database is authenticated, but overall, the idea of Microsoft taking screenshots every 5 seconds, even if stored locally, scares the crap out of me. So let's dive right in. Also, if you're new here, hi, my name is Ed. This is A Little Learning, a channel we're talking.
God, I want to reinstall. Maybe I'll do this tonight because I just love fucking with my computer so much. I watched the video last night. It made me want to reinstall my whole shit. Did you know that Life Alert? Okay, no, Life Alert is for old people. Well, here's a pro life tip. Okay, we'll call it life tip. When you go to install Windows 11, you have to choose World. I didn't know that. Instead of choosing like the region or the language, you just choose like English world instead of ever giving it a region, and you end up avoiding so much random fucking shit that would go on your computer otherwise. What was I downloaded some bullshit to remove OneDrive, although I don't know if it actually permanently removes it or not, but
about software security.
Oh fuck. Oh, wait, chat was right. The guy that I was talking about was this Chris Titus tech guy. He's got this whole ass tool for helping your Windows shit. But he has a video for how to basically make it work. But then in the beginning of that video, Dan, did you know that when you install Windows 11, you're supposed to choose the world region? I didn't know that.
I didn't even know there was a region. When did they add that?
It's when you choose your language. Like, it'll be like English American, English British, but there's an English world region.
And what does that do?
It makes it so that your Windows doesn't install like 30 random stupid fucking things in your computer. Hold on. Listen to this guy. Here, pro tip for Windows 11 installers, all right? Oh my God, this blew my mind.
So let's get into the actual install. We'll load up a fresh VM. So this is the first trick on here, is mainly just to take the time currency format and change this to English World. From English World, you'll actually remove all like TikTok, Prime Video, all those links on your start menu. Just makes it a little bit easier, and to fix, it actually disables Microsoft Store as well, which is really nice. But it's really easy to re-enable, and I'll show that. So let's just go next, and we're just going to do a fresh install. No changes from the stock settings here. Typically, I always like Windows 11 Pro. If you have Home, I highly recommend upgrade.
I unplug my network when installing, bypasses a bunch of retarded shit. I think they turned that off, Cake, unless you've done it really recently. It used to be that you could unplug from the internet and then it wouldn't make you sign into a Windows account.
Yep.
I think
now it makes you like, hey, get your phone.
Yeah, I think it turns out. I think you have to do it now. Yeah.
Upgrading to Pro,
there
use a key, whatever you can find, because then you can really use group policy a lot easier. There's hacks to get it available in Home, but a lot of times feature updates disable those. You run into problems. So I always like Windows 11 Pro if you're choosing a version. All right, with the initial install done, it's going to restart, and I'll see you on the desktop. Now, on initial startup, you're going to run into this problem before hitting the desktop. It's a timeout, so it'll probably sit there for about 60 seconds, maybe up to 2 minutes, and then give you this OOBE, which is just out-of-box experience that we're going through. Let's just skip through this, and we'll just set it up as we normally would. We're going to skip the second layout. We're just going to name the device test. Next. And then on this, you always want to choose work and school if you're going to do an offline account, which I always recommend, and I've always just kind of had a habit of doing. If you have a Microsoft account and you're doing stuff through the store, you might do personal use, but I still like the old school way of doing things. We're just going to sign in options, domain join, and then we're just going to name this one test, and or let's just go test user. Next. For password, always leave this blank when setting up a test account because you get to skip every single security questions and you just get done a lot quicker from this little hack. Obviously set a password after you log in, but this way makes it quite a bit faster. All right, and here we go. Let's see what the actual startup looks like. You can see we can still get like the Edge garbage here. We got these widgets. You have just a chat and a whole bunch of stuff right down here. Not a very great experience, but a lot better than just using English. With the world, obviously, you can see we don't have any of the shortcut links for any of the other bloatware, whether it's Amazon Prime, TikTok, all that garbage. So it's a lot better starting point. That's why I like it.
And
And
this is
you
just
will
from
notice if you
setting
launch
world
into the
versus US.
Yeah, he's got all sorts of these little tips and tricks.
I just don't understand why Microsoft is doing this to us. Like,
'Cause they make more money on it. They keep the cost of the
No,
OS down, and they collect more money later on.
I mean, I understand like turning Microsoft into a SaaS. I think that's definitely coming. But like, the only people that even like, you know how insane it used to be to try and have a local account, like the steps you would have to do. I mean, you do it, right?
I mean, wait. What was the last thing you just said?
Okay, to have a local account, like what you used to have to do is like, okay, you had to go in the BIOS and literally remove that you had a Ethernet adapter and a Wi-Fi adapter. Like you had to actually disable it for Windows to let you create an account.
Jesus.
It was like that was like
I thought it used to be. Wait, what? I thought it used to be with Windows. I think 8, and then I think 10. There was an option where it would say like log in later or something like that. You just push that,
no,
and then it would just.
that shit's long gone. And then the question is like, why the fuck are they doing this? The only people that are left that are doing this are like the most insane tech-sensitive people, and now they're basically just like, it's getting to the point where they're just not going to let you do it at all. It's like, hey, just go fuck yourself.
Yeah, because
You're gonna have a
everything has to
Microsoft
be
account.
online and everything. Yeah.
Let me ask you, how do you deal with people that are just so fucking stupid?
Stop
but wanna
watching
tell you things?
chat. Just stop watching chat.
They're just so fucking dumb.
Okay,
Do you know
I'm watching
who
one more
am?
minute of this.
Oh my god.
Cybersecurity. So if you're into that or just want to hang out, hit that sub button. Really appreciate it. So first of all, Microsoft is making Recall an opt-in program. So originally when it was announced, it was going to be an opt-out program, meaning that to disable Recall, you had to, one, know Recall was enabled, and then turn it off, meaning that you had to opt out of the program. Recall is now an opt-in program, which overall is obviously a good thing, but I have had weird instances on my own personal computer where features like Cortana, for example, that I disable when I turn Windows on, when I install Windows on my computer,
Comes back.
magically get turned on without my permission or consent.
It's either whenever you do like any random update or whatever. Yes, I fucking hate this, and it happens with OneDrive as well. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this.
So I don't know if that's a misconfiguration thing, if that's a marketing thing where Windows or Microsoft are trying to push their features and turning them on without my consent. But I have seen that happen before. It's not only me, but people around the community have had like magical Microsoft Windows features turn on by themselves. So if that's going to be the case with the Recall, not a huge fan of that. But I mean, at least we're going in the correct direction where, you know, we're making it so that it's not on by default. The example that I give with all of these things is I think of my grandmother who doesn't know anything about computers and is what should be thought of as like the default user of software. If she is not able to even understand the technology or understand or consent to the technology and just have this repository of information about her browsing history or computing habits, I think that's a bad thing. I think the average user should not be subjected to that without consenting to it. So opt-in is a step towards getting consent, right? The Recall database now says that it will only be decrypted once you've authenticated through the Windows Hello program. So the Windows Hello program is effectively, they use not biometric authentication, but you have to either show your face or your fingerprint or some other like I am actually this person kind of authentication that's processed in the CPU to decrypt that database. Now the question is, does that mean that if I log into my computer with Windows Hello, the database is now decrypted until I log out? Is it when the window is locked? Is it when the desktop is locked? How long does that data stay decrypted at rest? Because if any kind of malware is on the computer and they want access to that data, all they're going to do is wait until I'm properly authenticated to access that data and then just steal it all. I think the core of my issue with the Recall program is that there is literally just a corpus of data that is on my computer that I don't want to be on my computer, right? It would be like if I stored all of my personally identifiable information about me and my family and my kids, like socials, tax returns, school records, I don't know, all that stuff in one folder and just hoped that it was never accessible at the wrong time. That's why I have literally in that closet is like a cabinet full of records that no one can get to unless you're in my house in the backmost room of my house.
And now he just told us how to find them and how to get to them.
Right? I'm literally in my basement right now. So I think that in and of itself, just having that data anywhere is a threat. Now, obviously, making it authenticated and making it decrypted at the right time is a step in the right direction, right? I mean, originally, the data was just decrypted when BitLocker was decrypted, which means that if the system is on, the data was decrypted. That was a huge security oversight on Microsoft's part. I'm not really sure how that got through any kind of security review, given that if the computer is enabled, the database is encrypted, therefore it is not encrypted at rest. Like it's encrypted at rest, but in like a weird scummy marketing way where like it's not really, you can just sell it like that legally. I don't know. Wasn't a big fan of that. Now, also in the blog post, they did update with like some major security points to try to, I think, ease some of the fears about Recall. First of all, snapshots are stored locally. Copilot PCs have powerful AI that work on your device's behalf. No internet or cloud connections are used to store and process snapshots. So that is one thing that's like reassuring. They're not going to like take your screenshot, send it off to the magical, you know, Microsoft Cloud Center, process it there. It is happening locally on your own AI processor. Snapshots are not shared. So this has gotten people a little nervous because they say that snapshots are not shared, but like this This is the crux of every argument about corporate data collection. Okay, so like the snapshots aren't shared, right? But is the optical character recognition data, the metadata that is stored in that database, is that now anonymized and then like sold to Google as ad data so they can give me personalized ads? I mean, there are even ads that are paid out to Microsoft and Google in browsers like Edge, for example. And if this is just another clever way of collecting personalization data, I don't think that's right. I don't know if that's happening or not. I'm just saying there is the potential for that kind of overreach to happen. I mean, so like my wife and I share Instagram reels with each other, and I know for a fact that the minute I install Instagram on my iPhone, I get more personalized ads, and I get ads about things that we are talking about. Like they are probably collecting microphone data and anonymizing it for personalized.
Okay, I don't know if this has changed in the past couple years, but I thought that multiple people tried to do investigations on this to figure out if you just randomly talking would be recorded and then used to serve you ads, personalized ads in the future. I feel like every single time that was investigated, it never ended up being the case. Has there been like a new, like reputable source that has investigated this to see if this is the case, or?
As ad experience, some legal bullshit. But it is not uncommon for this to happen. So while the snapshots themselves are not shared, is the metadata about them shared? What's going on with that? You will know when Recall is saving snapshots. So like if you have an iPhone, for example, you get a little light that lights up when the camera is being used, when your location is being used, when your Bluetooth is being used. So now they're gonna have a little thing that says, hey, watch, Recall is actively taking screenshots, which again, step in the right direction, but it doesn't fully fix the problem of the fact that they're taking screenshots in general. Digital rights managed or in private browsing snapshots are not saved. So basically, if you are using a piece of content that overtly supports DRM or has in private browsing in a way that the Windows kernel knows about, it will not capture those.
Oh, that's interesting. They could serve you ads based on who or what people are accessing on your Wi-Fi network. I didn't really consider that. I guess you'd have basically the same IP address, so so it's possible that they could locate ads like that or serve ads like that. I guess that could be okay.
Snapshots. But again, this isn't security by default. Like I have to now go into a more secure mode to avoid the snapshots. Now again, at this point, obviously, if you're using this program, you've opted in, so I guess you kind of know about that. I'm not super sure how I feel about that one. And then this is a big one, enterprise and customer choice. So this was a big concern for people that worked as like IT administrators at big companies. Are they going to have to now administer and monitor the Recall databases on every Copilot enabled PC that exists in their network? There's some corporate networks that have literally thousands, tens of thousands of PCs, and if they have to worry about a single compromise removing the security of the last, if it's gone on for a long enough time, 5 years of collected data, that's a really, really, really bad thing. So I think they're going to give, at the group policy probably level, the ability for IT admins to control this, and by that, likely everyone that I know is going to disable this feature, right? No one in their right mind at the corporate IT level is going to use this feature. We're on a journey to build products and experiences that live up to our company mission to empower people and organizations to achieve more and are driven by the critical importance of maintaining our customers' privacy, security, and trust. More corpo bullshit. I don't know, dude. I'm gonna make a whole separate video about this. I genuinely believe that AI is evil. And what I mean by that is like the technology itself, LLMs, the math and the science behind AI is all well and good. But we are just creating another excuse for companies to shill things at us that we don't need in exchange for metadata collection to improve ad experiences. I think that AI is going to be, in 10 years, the Facebook of 2016, right? It was a feature that started out as a good thing, and once companies realized that they could slurp up a little bit of anonymized metadata and use that to shill ads, I don't see why they wouldn't. And this just seems like another way of getting really scary personal information about people and knowing their trends that like every Wednesday, again, going back to the news example, every Wednesday, Danielle searches for purses on eBay and now they know to send her ads and shit like that. I don't know, man. It just scares me. I hope you're not too scared by this. I hope that this goes in the correct, again, it's trending in the right direction. They're making it a little more secure, but just the fact that we even have programs like this, features like this, makes me a little weird. I don't know. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, if you thought it was weird, or if you want to tell me what you think, put it in the comments down below. Hit subscribe. Also, I feel like no one knows this, but I stream on Twitch. If you want to hang out with me live, I do stream on twitch.tv/lowlevellearning. Might be live right now, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.
Wow.